Good evening, good afternoon, good morning, ladies and gentlemen, to 83rd session of Global Impromptu Speaking. As you all know, in Global Impromptu Speaking session, we promote, we encourage, we elate our fellow members. And also, we speak for 1 to 2 minutes. This is how we empower people and empower ourselves. Let's help each other to become a better communicator and public speaker, no matter which field we are in right now. But at least with our thought provoking ideas and good words, good vocabulary, and confident way of speaking, we can seriously add value in society and people's lives. In every speaking session, we have somebody as topics master. Today, our topics master is none other than, where is he gone? All right, Mr. Subi M. Babu. But to support him to make this meeting completely professional, we have somebody known as Timer. And that person is none other than very professional, very senior, very respectful. DTM Jessie, she has taken this challenge to manage our timing for today's session. Please put your hands together to welcome DTM Jessie to explain the timing mechanism, please. Over to you, ma'am. You need to unmute yourself, please.
Good evening, my global family, and once again, thank you for the wonderful opportunity for all the people around the world to come and test their impromptu speaking skill. Today, I'm the timer and I will be timing your speeches. At 1 minute, I will show this green light. You will have to pin me to see the full green light maybe. At 1.13 seconds, I will show the yellow, which is amber, and at 2 minutes, I will show the red. Those who cross the, by default, who cross 3 minutes, I think they will have to pin me to make sure that they live within they speak within the time limit. This is my request, and I hand the podium over to DTM Amjad.
Thank you, DTM Jessie. Really appreciate, really appreciate. Please give her a big hand. Ladies and gentlemen, as mentioned in every global impromptu speaking session, we have somebody known as topics master who has worked hard and picked few topics for us to speak on. Let's see what he has got for us. This gentleman is very active Toastmaster. He has been sending me so many invites for his personal meetings, personal mean like his club meetings, and I'm able to enjoy the club meetings. And today, let's see what he has got for us. Please put your hands together to welcome Subi all the way from Oman as a topics master. Welcome, Toastmaster Subi. Over to you.
Thank you, DTM Amjad Ali, for inviting me and creating such a beautiful platform. We all say each other, or we wish all each other family members. I truly feel I am back to family. I am coming or participating in this meeting after a while. Wishing you all a belated Diwali. And here in Oman, we are celebrating its 50th National Day. I am in such a festive mood. We are starting our session today. My first topic goes to the timer, DTM Jessie D'Souza. The topics which I am giving for you for the first some portion is having a speciality. It starts with if. All the topics are having an if in it. Here comes the first topic. Please bear with me.
I'll play the timer role for her.
Great. Thank you. DTM Jessie?
Yes.
The topic is, if fortune calls, offer him a seat. If fortune calls, offer him a seat.
If fortune calls, offer him a seat, right? This fortune. Who will decline the fortune a seat? Fortune, everyone wants a fortune, and if a fortune comes to my doorstep, I will open the door of my house, my heart, and give a seat always. One thing we must remember: the easy fortune is always very tricky. Why the fortune comes to you effortlessly? When it is effortlessly comes, then one has to be very careful in knowing this fortune falling on one's roof. In Hindi, they say chappar faadke. So sometimes this may create a problem. Even fortune falls at my door, I will be the same. Whether fortune, misfortune, skipped fortune, I don't think it matters me so much, because I know one day I will have to leave everything. All I need is 3 times or 2 times a good meal and a good bed to sleep and a few books to read is more than enough for me. So while I work to earn money so that I feel content, but whether it is a fortune comes to me, if I should give a seat, I'll give a seat, and I will use that fortune for a good cause perhaps, and let's share the fortune with less fortunate ones. That's my thought. Over to you, topic master.
Thank you, DTM Jesse, for starting the session with a great guesto. My second speaker is Gavalia Sushant.
Am I audible, topics master?
Clear. The topic is, if there were no losers, there could be no winners. If there were no losers, there could be no winners.
If there were no losers, there could be no winners. Oh, my fellow family. Friends, let me ask you all a question. How do winners come? Do they get things easily? No. Do they try things and get it at the first time? No. They lose it. The first time they take it, they lose it. Then step by step, they learn the method, the process of achieving the goal. They slowly start shining in front of everyone. And slowly they win things. We may think, he's a winner. Everything comes for him. It's only for us. Nothing comes for me. Oh no, it's not the thing that we need to think. We need to try. Even though we lose, we need to take that as a learning, because every losing only helps us. To reach our goal, there are two main things. Take the learning, lose. But I will never say keep on losing. When you lose on one thing, take the learning. See to that there is no mistake happening in the same what you made the last time. And that's what is a very big learning today for everyone. I would like to end a quote with one of the quote that came in one of the movies that I really liked. Success doesn't have full stops. It has commas. And success is not a destination.
Thank you, Gavalia. Nice take on the topic. We are going for the third speaker, Toastmaster Abhinav. Please unmute.
Yes.
Hope you are doing good. Welcome back.
Thank you.
If wishes were horses, beggars would ride. If wishes were horses, beggars would ride. Topic is there in the chat. You can check.
If wishes were horses, beggars would ride. Yes, it's true. If you check out this world, it is filled with beggars. Every individual is somewhere is a beggar. Why? Because ultimately they are begging something to someone. Sometime, basically, the common thing is they beg to God. God, give me this, give me that. But God is confused. Man, I gave you everything. Now here, man is puzzled. Hey, you gave me nothing, and now you are saying that you gave me everything. See my condition. I'm a poor guy. I have nothing. Then God replied, buddy, I gave you a mind to think. I gave you eyes to see. I gave you ear to listen and understand. I give you hand to walk upon. I give you legs to move towards your destination. And I give you a heart to keep you motivated. You have everything. Then why you are begging? You have the best fortune one can ever have. You know, if you donate your every organ, everything, then you can get $45 million. I'm not asking you to sell everything. I'm telling you that how valuable you are. Now this is just part of your body. If you use it, if you utilize it, then you can make big fortunes. So whenever you're begging something, first check it out. Are you capable of enough that you can do it without begging it? And my dear friends, you will definitely find out a way to achieve it without anyone's help. And the day you will do it, you will be at the top of this world. You will be invincible, like as our dear Toastmaster says, Ajay means invincible. So you will become Ajay. So my dear friends, don't be a beggar, be a doer, be a winner. This is the mantra of life. Once you will win, you'll start winning. Once you give up, no one can help you. Even God can't help you. So never beg, just do it what your heart and mind says. Over to you, my dear friend. Thank you very much for this nice topic.
Thank you, Toastmaster Abhinav, for a good take on this. We are moving for the next speaker, Madam Toastmaster Savita.
Yes, Toastmaster Sudhir.
Madam, your topic is, if you wish to be loved, love. If you wish to be loved, love.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Sudhir. If you wish to be loved, love. So true it is. Because what we want in our life, we have to give it. And this universe is nothing but a big ecosystem. Whatever vibrations you send it, it is going to come back to you in any form, anywhere, any step. Not today, maybe tomorrow. It doesn't keep anything with it. Like, for example, have you seen sea in the sea waves? Whatever you throw it, it comes back. Sea doesn't keep anything back. Same way universe is also same. You give positive vibrations, it will give back positive thing. You love somebody, it will give you love. You hate somebody, it is going to come back in some form. So why not to give something what you want? And love is such a beautiful virtue of everything. So if I want, or if somebody wants to be loved, person has to love. It has to give that. And once you give it, there's no need of expecting. It comes. It is an automatic. The theory of love is you don't have to do anything. You just do. It comes itself. And this love removes all the bugbears in this world. No bugbear remains when the love is there. That is such a big fortune. And I very well acknowledge that, and I'm blessed. I am, and I think most of us are fortunate enough to get that love. Thank you. Over to you, Toastmaster Sudhi.
Lovely topic. Appreciated the word being used. I encourage, I urge all speakers to use the word bugbearian in your speeches. My next speaker is Madam Toastmaster Anupama.
Yes, I'm here.
Madam, hi, your topic
Hi.
is, if you enjoy the fruit, pluck not the flower. If you enjoy the fruit, pluck not the flower.
Good evening, my global impromptu family. The topic for me is, if you enjoy the fruit, pluck the
Not pluck the flower.
not pluck the flower. we all have learned in our smaller classes, like how a plant grows from a seed. From a seed, it comes as it starts germinating, and then the roots are formed, and then the small stems are formed, and after that, slowly the leaves are formed. From there, you get the flower, and the flower turns into the fruit. So when we flower is the fruit is the ultimate goal of this whole process. So when this process is happening slowly, you try to just cut short something and remove the flower first. You don't get the full benefit of the whole process. So whatever starts, it ends in something. So that is what makes the whole process, and we enjoy the full benefit. So if we remove the flower, that means we are not fully enjoying what is required as a process. So in nature, whatever happens, allow it to bloom fully. Enjoy the nature thoroughly. Don't interfere. Don't become a bugbear and interfere in the natural growth of it. So enjoy the nature fully and get the fruit. Don't just be happy with the flower and just stop on the way. Enjoy the full process and thoroughly enjoy the fruit. Over to you, David.
Thank you, madam. We have enjoyed thoroughly your lovely speech. I'm moving to the next speaker, Madam Toastmaster Sampriti. Hi, madam.
Hello.
Can you be a little bit louder?
Hello. Can you hear me?
Yeah, yes, madam. Yes, madam. The topic is, if you get it overnight, you can lose it just as quick. If you get it overnight, you can lose it just as quick.
Okay. Thank you for the topic. If you get it overnight, you can lose it just as quick. Anything you get, if you get it just, you can lose it quickly. But if you work really hard for it, then it will stay with you for life. So whenever you wish for something, you just cannot just wish and get anything. Even if you get anything, it will not be long lasting. So if you have any dreams, if you want to acquire something in life, if you want to get anything, you have to work day and night. You have to really focus on it, and you have to um, always think about it, and uh, uh, do whatever you can to get it. So if you put all your effort for it, then you will get it, and it will remain with you for life. For example, if you want to earn a lot of money, and if you win just by winning a lottery, then you don't know how to uh, keep it and how to invest it and how to use it, then you may lose it just so. But if you really work and earn it, then you know how to earn and how to invest and how to make it grow. So I think uh, the statement is very true, that if you get it overnight, you can lose it as quick. Thank you.
Thank you, Madam Toastmaster Sampriti. Nice take. Next topic speaker is Toastmaster Sri Prakash. Hi, Sri Prakash.
I think he's not there.
Okay, we are moving to the next speaker. Madam Toastmaster Habi.
Yes, Subi, I'm here.
Hi, madam. How are
Hi,
you doing?
I'm fine,
Madam,
thank you. How are you?
good. I'm good. Madam, your topic is, if you believe everything you read, you better not read. If you believe everything you read, you better not read.
Table topic master and my dear friends, good evening, good morning, good afternoon. If you believe everything you read, better not to read. Yes, it is a very apt proverb because it says that interpretation is like whatever you see, you cannot believe. Whatever you read, you should know what to take from. You can read between the lines, you can read beyond the lines, you can give your own interpretation, and whatever is given to you, just taking it as it is not wise. You should have your own interpretation, or you should use your insight to understand things. This is applicable when you mingle with people also. When we interact with people, what is shown outside, you cannot just believe that and take people as it is. You should understand their inner qualities, inner characteristics. So it is always up to you to take what is there in a book or in a person or in a situation. You should understand what is appropriate or what is right. It is not an easy thing. Most of the time we may get deceived. We may not take the proper interpretation. We will not get. We have to go through the whole process. We have to analyze it using our own intellect, using our own insight. Thank you. Over to you, table topic master.
Thank you, Madam Habi. Our next speaker is Toastmaster Ajay.
Yes, Toastmaster Subbu.
Yes, sir. I cannot give this topic to anybody else. The topic is, if the cap fits, wear it. If the cap fits, wear it.
Fantastic. Good day to everyone here, lovely family today. If the cap fits, wear it. Well, I agree when it comes to a physical cap. If it fits you, definitely wear it. As long as it suits you, wear it. As long as it looks good on you, wear it. But in real life, practical life, if a cap fits you, you need not necessarily wear it, for a simple reason. Fitting a cap fitting onto you means that particular situation, that particular environment, that particular circumstance may be suitable for you to do something, but are you capable of executing in that situation? Do you have that potential to utilize that particular situation to your advantage? So if it's not necessary that a dress which fits me may look good on me, it's identical that similar, a situation could be very, very, suitable in the sense of it's absolutely made to a particular thing. Let me give you an example. For an example, if I say there's a beautiful road, there's a beautiful car, and it's perfect for driving, a lovely weather, but do I know driving in the first place? So that's my take on that, that a cap may fit you, but you need to wear it. Well, that's your decision, because you need to have the qualities to appreciate that situation and to be able to perform in that situation. In life, I think there is a little click. Physically, yes, I would do it. But having said all this stuff and a lot of life experiences which I share, I don't want to be too philosophical, or in other words, I don't want to be a bugbear in this particular environment, because I don't want to cause any more irritation. I'm just talking through my hat. You know the meaning of through my hat? That's exactly what I am doing. Because this hat fits me, no wonder, because it fits me, I wear it. Over to you, table topic master.
Nice. Thank you, Toastmaster Ajay. My next speaker is Madam Toastmaster Jaya. Madam Jaya, could you unmute?
A very good evening.
Good evening, madam. Madam, your topic is, if life deals you lemon, make lemonade. if life deals you lemons, make lemonade.
Thank you for this topic. I'll try my best. Um, I guess I do agree on this. If life gives you a lemon, you should make a lemonade. In other words, if if say if you get a good opportunity coming your way, make good use of it, right? Um, make good use of it, and yeah, okay. For every opportunity that comes your way, you should make good use of it, uh, to your best. Um, where where it helps you to benefit, helps you um, in your growth in all spheres of your life. So definitely, I feel if you get opportunity in your way, grab it and make good use of it where it will benefit you as well as others and in the world. So definitely, I agree to this. If lemon comes away, make a lemonade.
Thank you, madam. The series of if question is going to end. The last speaker on if topic is Toastmaster Sherman.
Yes.
Sir, good evening.
Good
The
evening.
topic is, if you get a good spouse, you will be happy. If you get a bad one, you will become a philosopher. If you get a
Yeah,
good
obviously.
spouse, you will be happy. If you get a bad one, you will be a philosopher.
That's obvious. Yeah, obviously. That's fellow global improvement friends, and every successful person, there's a there's a there's a lady behind. It's called there's even a good boss or the good entrepreneur have a good there's another person behind for every success. So the marriage, successful marriage, also when you have a good partner, thinking the same way and development, everything, the behavior, so you get a support from the partner. So if you marry a wrong person or the negative person, you are not going to develop. So you have to be carefully selecting selecting a person for the better half. So better to have a very selective one and also have some experiences before have a person. And not only the marriage, this reminds any other, even you are running a partnership business, also your other partner should support you. Otherwise, you are not going to end up with your objectives of your company or your opening of entrepreneurship. Over to you, Mr. Table Topic Master.
Thank you. Life is all about partnership with many. Thank you. The if series is coming to an end and the series starts. To start with, I am having Madam Toastmaster Farida with us. Madam, could you unmute? Hi, madam. Good evening.
Good evening.
Simple topic. The cobra will bite you, whether you call it cobra or Mr. Cobra.
A very good evening to my global impromptu family. The topic that has been given to me tonight is that the cobra will bite you whether you give it respect, whether you call it cobra or Mr. Cobra, whether you give it respect or not, or love, whether you give it love or not. And there's a very famous proverb in Urdu which has the similar connotation. And I truly agree with this topic. I had thought that whatever topic will be thrown to me, I will go against it or speak against it. But unfortunately, I will not be able to speak against this topic because this is one of the life lessons. This is a lesson that life teaches you, that many a times there are people, not only in your family, but maybe at your workplace, in your social circle, who are constantly somehow trying to degrade you, pull you down. I don't know why do they do it? Do they do it out of envy or jealousy, or whether they're just habituated of degrading other people, insulting other people, pulling them down, trying to step over them all the time. So this is actually one of my bugbears, that I cannot tolerate such people who use other people to climb the success ladder and step over them without saying a simple thank you. And I truly hold this topic true to my heart. And actually, I would advise all of you that if you identify such a cobra, either at your workplace or in your family or in your friend circle, get rid of them. If you can't get rid of them, avoid them. There's no point showering your love on them. There's no point giving them respect. There's no point giving them any attention, because all they know what to do is to bite. And somehow, when you give it love, the love doesn't come back. The only thing you will get back is the venom. So it's better to just kill the story short and let go of these people. There is a famous saying in English: there's a time to hold on and there's a time to let go. And these are the type of cobra type of people that you have to learn to let go in your life, no matter how close you have been. Even if they are your childhood friends, close colleagues, you have to let go of them. A very good evening to everybody.
Thank you, madam. Now my next speaker is Toastmaster Dinesh.
Hi, Sudhi.
Hi,
Can you hear me?
good evening. Your topic comes here. The early bird catches the worm. The early bird catches the worm.
Okay. Good evening, everyone. Thank you, Sudhi, for the wonderful topic. Early bird catches the worm. So that's true. There are, we will be having always the fewer opportunities everywhere. We all know who stepped first on the moon. We don't know who went second or third or fourth. We won't remember the other people. We know Bolt is the Usain Bolt who broke the record in record time, and we know him in that sport. And we know who are the people who make the anything possible within a less time or within whatever the field they are in. And if they make some record, that's where people remember them. But people who comes next, and we kind of give less importance to the person who comes later than that. So that's true. Then early bird catches the worm. So we have to push ourselves to the next level and try to grab the opportunities wherever we get. And even early bird tickets also will get for less price. So whenever we'll get some chance, go grab the any event tickets or anything. So definitely early bird. So I agree with the topic that early bird gets the worm. Thank you, sir. Over to you.
Nicely done. My next speaker is Advait. Toastmaster Advait.
Hello.
Hi. Advait, your topic is: the eyes are the window of the soul. the eyes are the window of the soul. Toastmaster Advait?
A very good evening to everyone. The eyes are the window of the soul. I mean, there are so many ways to say this, but basically, I mean, okay, fine. The eyes are the windows of the soul. We see this beautiful world around us. We see this nature. We see the nature. We see all sorts of things, and whatever positive things we see around us, it just purifies our soul, right? And whatever we and whatever we see negative is just gonna ruin us. So being the windows of our soul, it's, and I've heard this so many times, never thought deep about it. Now that I have to, well, you know, yeah, I don't know how I can elaborate anymore, but anyways, yeah, good topic. Thank you.
Thank you, Advait. The courage you are having is evident. Moving to the next topic, our host, DTM Amjad Ali.
Yes, sir.
DTM, your topic is the end justifies the means.
Thank you so much, Mr. Topics Master. The end justifies the means. I have been stating one line for successful people. Whenever I go to speak, especially to the younger audience, I tell them, if successful people would have known they would be successful, they would not have worked the way they've worked. So now we consider them successful and we follow them, okay, follow their lifestyle the way they did, let's do it. Not at all. It's not going to work at all. Your circumstances are different, your resources are different, your family responsibilities are different. So it's not going to work. You work the way you are living your life, the area you are existing in, the country you are in, the resources you are provided. Then your end will justify your means. This is I always tell people. I tell them very loudly, I don't follow people. I respect their struggle, I respect their achievements, and I respect mine too. So you do respect your achievements, your struggle, appreciate your existence. You are there for a reason. No one flower can replace other flower. No one leaf can replace other leaf. It's placement. But beauty lies in its own existence, or the placement we are at. So my request to each one of you, especially to myself, wherever you are, enjoy, be grateful. You are going to build an empire one day, making sure that you are persistent, you are passionate, and you are crazily mad. And I always love to hear from people that Amjad, you are mad. You are out of our mind. You are not going to be understood because we don't know what you're trying to achieve. But I know I'm not going to harm anybody in society. I'm paying the cost my own. I'm paying my own bills, and I'm going to face the repercussions or whatever is going to come on my face. That's my call to each one of you. Do whatever you like, but make sure the cost is borne by yourself only. And your end will definitely justify all the means. And people will say, let's follow Ajay ji, let's follow Farida ji, let's follow Jessie ji, let's follow Subi ji. But only once we are somewhere at the top. I'm going to be there. Thank you so much. Back to you.
Great, great. Thank you, DTM Amjad Ali, for such a vast take on that simple topic. Madam Toastmaster Dinisha is my speaker. Next speaker.
Good evening.
Good evening, madam. Your topic is the darkest hour is just before the dawn. The darkest hour is just before the dawn.
Good evening to you all. Thank you for the topic. There are many times we are in dark and we are in light. That depends on the situation and how we face them. Sometimes when our life is in dark, we say we are at the most dangerous positions and we bugbear of that. So then what happens? We have to work hard, otherwise we can't overcome that. And working hard with the determination, perseverance, and all our courage, that will be end. And we see the light after that. The dawn comes in to make us happy. That is why we see the light, the dawn, because we have seen the dark. That is how we see the dawn. When we don't see the dark, what happens? Every day, it's like the same. We do not have much courage because we are in a very comfortable zone and we are not bugbear about that because of our easy lives. So every time the dark is seen before the dawn. Over to you, topic master.
Thank you, Madam Dinisha. I am going to the next speaker, lovely Madam Toastmaster Sunita.
Yeah. Good evening.
Good evening, madam. Madam, your topic is the first step is the hardest. The first step is the hardest.
Good evening, Toastmaster friends, global friends. The first step is the hardest. I'm sure all of us here have experienced that. The first table topic that we took on is probably the reason we are all here today. The first time you came to a Toastmaster Club as a guest and you were given a table topic, it was so difficult to talk in front of so many people. I remember I was shown a cake, half-eaten cake, and that was the picture on the screen, and I was asked to talk about it. And I said, somebody has eaten half a cake, and I stood for the rest 1.5 minutes, and then at the end of it said, and there's half a cake remaining. So that was so difficult that day, and I thought I would never come back. But the appreciation that you got, you realize that you have to take that first step, no matter how hard it is. Once you take that step, then there's only a way forward. So the first step is very hard. It's because you're in your comfort zone. It's difficult to take that step outside that comfort zone. And you explore, you are developing a new phase in your life. And no matter how, this is what all of us have to keep reminding ourselves. The first step will be hard, but the journey ahead will be wonderful if we continue to keep moving forward instead of taking. Abraham Lincoln said, I might be a slow walker, but I never walk backwards. And that should be what all of us should strive for. Over to you, Toastmaster Subi.
Thank you, madam. I have some personal connection with her because I used to notice her whenever I am seeing in your Toastmaster platform. You always say that I am a learner and I am a beginner, but you inspire many for sure. Thank you, madam, for being with us, to sharing your soul with us.
Thank you. Thank you.
Next speaker is Toastmaster Jatin. Hi, hope you are a Cavalier.
Yeah, I'm a Cavalier.
Good evening. The topic is the price of greatness is responsibility. The price of greatness is responsibility.
Yes, am I audible, right? Yeah. So good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. So the price so for greatness you need responsibility. That's true. I agree this statement, because without responsibility, like, we'll be reckless. And also, have anyone heard a book called Robin Hood? Yeah. So one of the stories I have also seen that he wasn't. He was responsible also, and if you are reckless, we don't know what to do. And also, if we try to help, people won't allow you to help, because they know that you might do something, you might damage some things. So if so the price of greatness is responsible. So if we are responsible, we can also be great. So yeah, thank you.
Thank you, Jatin. I hope I have given topic to all the attendees who are present here. If somebody missed, please raise the hand. Yes, DTM Amjad Ali, please take over the stage.
Ajay is raising his hand.
Yeah, I raised the hand because I want to give him the topic.
Yes, sir. Please go ahead, sir. Yes, sir. I was, yeah.
Or I can take another topic, no problem.
Then I'll give you one more topic.
No. Before that, I'll give you first. Then we can have something. Okay, Toastmaster Subhi, the topic for you is very, very simple. If you can't beat them, join them. If you can't beat them, join them.
Thank you, table topic master. If you can beat them, join them. When I hear the topic for the first time, or on the first moment, I feel that love wins all. You join them with love, and you will sure beat them with your love. You will conquer them. I like to use that word, conquer them, not physically, by winning their heart. When there is a need of beating or win over somebody, when we feel we are down to them or we are submissive to them, so try to be the upper portion whenever it is just like better than the last moment. So try to be the winner, and when you love those, you will be there. When I was studying in my school time, my teacher, in fact teachers would say that if you love your teacher, you love the topic, means the subject. In that way we will get acquainted with that subject, and easily we will tackle the subject. So be friendly with what makes you, what is bugbear to you, and you will sure win, and that will make you conquer. And later we may say we won together. That is a great feeling than winning alone. Thank you. Back to you, table topic master.
Thank you. Very good. Excellent take on it, Subhi. Over to you, DTM Amjad.
Thank you so much, Ajay sir. Thank you so much, Toastmaster Subhi. Let's put our hands together to welcome our Madam Timer, DTM Jessie, to read the timing report, please. Over to you, DTM Jessie.
Yes, let me put it on the. Okay. The time is Jesse, I think I spoke 2 minutes. Abhinav timed it. Sushant, 1 minute 40 seconds. Abhinav, 2 minutes. Savita, 1 minute 36 seconds. Anupama, 1 minute 52. Samriddhi, 1 minute 29. Habi, 1 minute 40 seconds. Ajay, 2 minutes 11. Jaya, 2 minutes. Sherman, 1 minute 55 seconds. Farida, 2 minutes 30. Well qualified today. No one overshot. Dinesh, 1 minute 19 seconds. Advait, 1 minute 40 seconds. Amjad Ali, 2 minutes 37, slightly up. Dinisha, 1 minute 05 seconds. Sunita, 1 minute 48. Jatin, 57 seconds. Subi, 1 minute 20 seconds. We have time left, I think, right?
Anybody wish to take a one more topic? I will give one more topic. Can
everyone is ready. Come on, they're all brave souls.
I can take another topic for the job that I did. Bonus.
Yes. You deserve it.
Sorry if it is a negative topic. The rotten apple injures the neighbors. The rotten apple injures the neighbors.
Rotten apple injures the neighbor. Rotten apple is always harmful. That is why I say if there is in the basket one rotten apple, throw away the rotten apple. Just now Farida said, get rid of them, even if they are in their family. So it always injures, it is harmful. I don't know how we can cure the rotten apple, but if you can cure it by any way, God will bless you. But if that apple is harmful, it is better. I remember a story. There was a storm in the ship and they tried all the means. And finally they came to know one man was the bad omen. So they threw the man to save the entire ship. So it is, even if it is said, if one man can cause harm to the entire community, it's better to get rid of him. So that one apple, rotten apple is better. Always try to be good apple, at least average apple, and not rotten apple, so that you will rot yourself as well as rot the others. This is my take. Over to you, Toastmaster Subi.
True.
Thank you,
Can
madam.
I say something?
Yes.
Just like in medicine, when the part becomes, gangrenous, Dr. Farida knows, you cannot keep that part in the body. You have to cut it off. So something rotten means you have to remove to keep the other part healthy or better. Okay.
Is this on record? We can close the record maybe.
Yes. All right, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for your participation, your encouragement, and your, of course, inspirations. With that, I would like to thank Toastmaster Subi and Babu for bringing this session to the end and with success, huge success. Thank you so much for very interesting topics. Ladies and gentlemen, let's conclude this session with Pav Vasarmi as the host of this very meeting. I adjourn the meeting. Now over to each one of you to have fun for some time. Stay blessed.